so close I could hear his breath mixing with the sound of the waves. His hands were on either side of the wooden bench, like a fence around me. The smell of the sea mixed with his cologne. From that short distance, the warmth of his face brushed against my cheeks. Nobody was passing by, no real light around, just the flickering yellow lamps of the pier, and us, one step away from crossing a line. Hi, welcome to your own channel, True Stories. Hope you enjoy the story you're about to hear. If you like it, please hit the like button, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the bell. Well, I'm Layla, 27 years old. I've been married to Naveed for 6 years. To be honest, at the start, our life had this beautiful simplicity. Fights ended quickly, laughs stretched long, and at night we'd stay up late talking with soft music in the background. But for the past few months, it feels like the laughter took a permanent vacation. Our conversations got short and formal. Just a how are you? I'm fine. Naveed was either at the office or, when home, glued to his laptop with emails and online meetings. I slowly learned how to be alone in a house that was supposed to be for two. About 3 weeks before a work trip, my company told me I had to attend a conference in a coastal city. When I told Naveed, he smiled, but his eyes never left the monitor. Good luck. Just those two words. Flat voice. That's when I realized my absence probably wouldn't leave a hole, just like my presence wasn't filling anything. 2 weeks before the trip, I started going out at night for walks after dinner. Our street was quiet, old trees, the smell of fresh bread from the bakery on the corner. I'd come back and see Navid asleep on the couch, tea gone cold beside him, the blue glow of the TV on his face. One night I picked up his cup to wash it. At the bottom, a dark tea ring. Just like the rings left in my heart, marks of forgetfulness. A week before leaving, a coworker said, "This trip could be a breath of fresh air for you." I didn't laugh, but deep down, I agreed. I needed air. A window open, a warm conversation, a look that really saw me. The morning of the trip, the sky was light gray, smelling of rain. When I got to the coastal city, there were cobblestone streets, old wooden windows, and my hotel just minutes from the sea. Even with the windows shut, I could hear the waves. The conference lobby was buzzing. ID cards, paper cups of coffee, formal hellos. That's where I first met Arman, a journalist covering the event. He had this quiet confidence when he spoke. Not flashy, but his gaze was sharp, like he wouldn't settle for surface answers. That first night it drizzled. Outside the hall, as everyone grabbed taxis, he said, "There's a shortcut to the beach. Want to walk?" We went. Our shoes echoed on the cobblestones, yellow street lights, the smell of wet earth mixed with the sea breeze. We talked, not about work, but ordinary stuff. My city, his city, travel memories. I don't know why, but that night I felt a comfort I'd been missing for a long time. Back in my room, I texted Naveed. "The weather here is amazing." 5 minutes later, his reply, "Good." I put the phone down. The waves kept me awake all night, not out of excitement, but thinking, who really sees me? Actually sees me. The next night, a little shock. My mom called to say my favorite plant on the balcony had dried up. I laughed bitterly. Some things just quietly die when you stop paying attention. Day 2, Arman showed up at the door with 2 coffees, one for a good start. I took it, warm steam against my face. Inside the conference hall, presentations dragged, slides felt soulless. In the middle of one, he texted, "Want to go for a walk after lunch? I know a hidden spot." The word hidden underlined itself in my mind. We went. Narrow alleys, fading walls, wooden windows with flower pots, the smell of fresh bread from a bakery, the bell of a bicycle ringing through the street. Arman told stories of the city's history, ships that once docked here. His words weren't just facts, they were stories. Sometimes he paused to check if I was still listening. I was. We ended up at a tiny cafe in a stone courtyard, an orange tree in the middle, blossoms sweet in the air. We sat. He talked about his travels, strangers in ports sharing wild stories over tea. I started sharing too, not the polite version of me, but the part that hadn't frozen over. He listened like my words mattered. Those little attentions, they felt like sparks in the damp air. By sunset, we were on the main pier. The sun sank behind clouds, painting the sky orange-pink. We sat on a wooden bench. A boat passed by, waves curling behind it. Silence came, not empty silence, but full. Breathing, thoughts, glances that didn't run away. That night, Naveed called, tired. He said sorry today was so busy, but it felt like he walked right past my words. 10 minutes later, Arman texted, tomorrow I'll take you somewhere less touristy, the real city. My fingers lingered on the screen. I wrote, okay. Later in the lobby, I saw an elderly couple, slow steps, hands intertwined, joking softly. I realized how far I drifted from that picture. Back in my room, I slipped off my wedding ring and stared at the faint market left. Just stared. Just questions. The next morning, in a speech, someone said, sometimes you have to step off the main path to know where you are. He meant projects, but it hit me differently. That afternoon, Arman was waiting. We walked through quieter alleys, laundry hanging, an old radio playing nostalgic songs, the smell of detergent, the sound of our footsteps. A living city, no performance. We reached a small fishing pier, a few old boats tied with worn ropes. The water gently tapped the wood. We sat at the edge, feet dangling. Drops splashed on my shoes. Arman said, I want you to see the city like this, simple, real. Our talk turned deeper. I told him about the nameless exhaustion, how words turn heavy when no one listens. He spoke about beautiful cities that feel empty when you've got no one to say, see that? That harmony, what I'd been searching for, unnamed. The breeze tossed my hair across my face. I went to fix it. He said, leave it. It's beautiful like that. Just a simple beautiful, but it stayed with me. These little things blurred the lines between us. Later, we reached a quiet stretch of beach. Wet sand, our footprints the only ones. Facing the sea, saying nothing, yet everything said. Distance shorter than ever. Silence, heavy with words. Then my phone buzzed. Navid, sorry, in a meeting, can't talk now. Coldness crept from my fingertips upward. I closed the screen. Armin didn't ask. He just stayed beside me. That was enough. That night, in bed, I stared at the ceiling. How a few simple conversations could become a path you never planned, but your feet keep walking. Every wave outside felt like it loosened a brick from the wall between me and myself. Later, Armin said, want to take a new path tonight? Not the usual ones. I agreed. We walked to a dark, empty stretch of beach. I slipped off my shoes, cool sand under my feet. He walked close, close enough that I felt his warmth. Neither of us spoke. Silence was the language. We sat on a big rock, stars above, sea in front. He told travel stories softly, filling the quiet. I listened, breathing, looking. Our eyes lingered longer, pauses grew deeper. Then I felt something missing. My ring. Panic. We both searched the sand until the tiny stone glimmered under weak starlight. Found. I slipped it back on, staring at it, at the dark sea, at myself. It felt like the world was asking, do you know where you are? Arman said nothing, just looked with that understanding silence. On the way back, we stopped at the hotel door. He said, these nights, it's like time passes differently. His final look was long, not rushed, not rude, like he wanted to record it. Then he left. In my room, I pulled the curtain a little, saw the pier lights blinking, couldn't sleep, not from guilt or wild excitement, but from thinking. How a few small attentions, a few honest talks, a few steps in sync can shift the course of a trip. I knew tomorrow we'd both go back. Navid, projects, same house, same street. But these days, these moments, like patterns, the tide leaves in the sand. Maybe washed away, maybe only I'd know where the trace remained. Morning came. Before packing, I took off my ring, blew the last grains of sand away, slid it back on. In the mirror, same me, but eyes storing a new story. A short message from Armin, have a good trip back. I wrote, you too, and a period. The rest I left to the silence between the waves. Thanks for watching till the end. If you enjoyed the story, please like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.